Let me clear my throat. Hey. Alright, what's up, IG? Let's get it started. Alright, man. Today we're talking about do real men wear. First of all, there was a movie called, oh no, that was The Devil Wears Prada. But today I'm asking, do real men wear Gucci? And do real women wear Prada? You're like, why are you asking me this? What's the point in this? Now, since that, when it comes to black people, we come from all over the world, the four corners of the earth, if you will. So, what we may see in America, some of our fellow brothers might not see in Africa, UK, and so forth. But we have the internet now, so things get around pretty quickly. So I'm not going to let that be an excuse today. And the reason why I'm talking about this is because for decades now, it's been all about designer this, designer that. But why? And not only is it about wearing name brand, designer brands, whatever it may be, for whatever particular reason, we black people choose the designers who are owned by people who make it known that they don't like us. And they prefer we not wear their clothing, sport their bags, sport their shoes, their coats, jacket. But yet, we do it anyway. And we buy it at a high rate. Expensive designer. Prada, Gucci, and it's more. I'm just naming the two. Because Gucci is seemingly what men wear today. And I don't know how many of our ladies wear Prada, but I know that you go through a few rap videos over the past decades and it would always be rapping about Prada this, Prada that, Gucci this, Gucci that. But why though? Does it really make you a higher class individual? Does it make you feel more valuable? If so, I gotta know why. Because this is part of the reason that I asked. I remember when I was in my 20s. At the time, Guess was the thing. If you ever heard of Guess, I used to love Guess. And as a kid, we used to hit the Franklin Mills Mall, hit the Guess outlet on a daily basis, on a weekly, monthly basis, whatever it may be. And I love buying clothing there, especially like the jean outfits. Love that. But we always went to the outlet to get it at a better value, a better price. There's nothing wrong with that. And I don't see anything wrong with that if people do it today. But at that time, Guess didn't make it a point to do promotions that were absolute racist. As we know with Gucci, with the blackface and all that, particularly wanting to mock black people and call us monkeys. They came out with an apology, and we went right back to buying. Same thing with all the designers. People that don't look like us, we're hell-bent on making them even richer than what they are. And I'm not going to get into why we don't buy from each other. That's not here or there. That's not this conversation. The conversation is, do real men put such an effort into buying expensive Gucci to dress themselves, to clothe themselves, in order to get what in response? Do real women focus on having designer bags, designer clothing, designer shoes? For what purpose? It's a fair question to ask. Because at the end of the day, when it comes to women, men don't look at the name of whatever it is that you have on. We don't care. Give me 1 second. Oh, we have this again. Too loud, Rookie. It's too loud. All right, we're back. At the end of the day, men do not care about what the ladies wear as long as it look good on you. And I, for one, I couldn't care less if you shopped at Burlington, Walmart, for all I care, as long as it looked nice on you. And I know that we could talk about quality. There are so many designers out here that are quality, that are within the everyday budget of the everyday person. Why do we feel a need to go and spend exhibit? No, I can't even say the word. Amounts of money for clothing. Why do we feel a need that no matter how it looks, we has to have that particular name on it? For what purpose? Oh my goodness. I thought I turned it down. Trying to hit a TV. All right. For what purpose do men spend money on Gucci? To get the attention of who? Women? If they're the type of females you desire to attract, what? Oh my goodness, this is messing up my show. Can you turn the TV off? I can hear very clearly. Oh, sorry for that, man. I already screwed my show up for the first 5 minutes. All right. We're going to get some guests in here so we could get some light on the situation. But I really wanted to... But let's start this off because I don't want to keep you guys waiting. This is Friday night. I know we got a lot of places to be. This is about why men are buying Gucci and why women desire to buy Prada. Hello. Good evening.
Good evening.
Hello.
Good evening.
Good evening. Good evening to you too.
Good evening.
Who's
Good
this?
evening. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Who's this?
This promise.
Promise. How are you?
Yeah, I'm fine. Good. And you?
I got an employee named Promise who's Nigerian. I thought that was just for a guy. Isn't that a guy's name?
Is
No,
unisex?
I'm not. Huh? Unisex?
The name is for
Can you hear me?
both.
Oh, okay. I'm just asking. I'm trying to learn here.
The name is
You're
for
not the only one
both.
here to learn. All right. How old are you? Promise.
I'm fine. I'm fine. Thank you.
I said, is there a delay? Because when I say something, it takes you like a few seconds to answer. All right. There's a delay.
Maybe it's the network.
All right. Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can.
All right. I'm asking this question today. Promise. This seems weird because every time I say promise, I think I'm talking to one of my employees. I'm asking this question because I really want to know, because I don't know everything just like anybody else.
Okay.
But I'm trying to figure out why we, especially black people, black men, black women, why do we have such a focus and make it so important that we have to go out our way to spend all of our money, more than most of us can afford, to buy Gucci and Prada products?
Well, to me, I feel like what you were saying, I feel you have to look good to impress people. That's how this world is turning into now. If not this world, probably Nigeria also. Because you have to look good
So
for
the
people
only
to see.
so the only way you can look good is by buying expensive Prada and Gucci.
No, not really, not really. And that's the Gucci and Prada. It depends on the person's taste. You see, that depend on your taste. Like, if the person has a good taste of something, the person can decide to buy Gucci or Prada. But if the person doesn't like it, the person won't. But the generation we're entering into now, everybody just want to fake it till they make it. So they'll go all out to buy it.
Fake it till you make it.
Yeah,
Well, wouldn't it be easier to make it if you take that money instead of buying expensive clothing, use that money to put to whatever skill you have in order to make it? Doesn't that seem more logical?
that's how you are seeing it. That's not how they see it. They see it differently. That's why everybody has their opinions, everybody has their decisions, everybody has their way of living. You can see some people going that way, you can see some people going this way. So it just depends. It depends on the person. So to
Uh,
them, they don't care. They don't care. They just want to get that Gucci and look.
and at the end of the day, yeah, it is your network. You're freezing. Um, while she's away, at the end of the day, you have a lot of the IG models. You have guys doing the same thing, whether it's Facebook, IG, Twitter, whatever it may be. They want to ball out. They want to show, I have this piece of jewelry, I have these Air Jordans, I have these sneakers, I have all this. But yet, at the end of the day, they don't own anything. And this is why the question needs to be asked, because we are a people of little means, especially here in the Black America, even Africa. The majority of people don't own anything, don't own their own houses, own their own cars, own their own land. So you could live life and not own any of these things, the major things that builds wealth, real estate, all that. The main things that build wealth, we don't put our money into. But the things that builds no wealth but takes away from your ability to gain wealth is what we put our money into. It's backwards as hell. And at the end of the day, as she was saying that you got to fake it till you make it. This is how some people think. Some people feel like this is what they like. I could like, I like a lot of things. I could like a lot of things, but I know when things are out of my cost structure, and even some things that aren't within my cost structure, because the costs are so high, I will not pay it because I understand that the money could be put to better use. It could be put to my family needs. It could be put to my needs. A lot of people could use that to build businesses with, but yet they spend their time, like she said, fake it till you make it. And that is a large portion of society today, that we believe that we have to look a certain way with a certain name on our clothing in order to be taken seriously. To me, it's absolute lunacy. I don't understand how people think this way, but that's why I'm here. I'm trying to figure it out. Do real men wear Gucci? And what I mean by that, the men who are out here sporting Gucci all day, every day, what are they doing for their people? What are they doing for their family? What are they doing to build generational wealth? Because if you're not doing any of those things, there should be not a piece of Gucci on you. In the first place, I don't even understand how black people put their money into something like that. A company who constantly disrespects you and has already showed that they don't like you, but you put your money into it anyway. That's why I say, man, at some point in life, you got to realize something is wrong with us as a people. Something is really wrong with us. That we think it takes us as men to go out and buy this expensive Gucci. You got men wearing Gucci handbags, looking like women now. The society has changed, yes. Society changes as life goes on. As generations go, things are going to be different. I get that. But when the difference is crippling yourself to a point where you can't build anything because you're steady out here trying to fake something that you're not. If you have to fake who you are in order to attract a person, then guess what? Once that person realizes who you are, they're going to leave you anyway. And I hope she gets back on because I really want to get the ladies in because I really want to get their standing point of why they think it's so important. Because the only reason females can do it is to show off to other females because men don't care about it. Men who are about something don't care about any name brand stuff. We don't care where your shoes came from. We don't care where your dress came from. We don't care where your coat we don't care where none of that came from. When men look at women, we're not out here like, oh damn, look at that Prada bag. Look at that Prada bag. I think it's nice. I think, I wonder how much she paid for that. I think, nah, men don't care anything. Men are like, oh damn, look at her ass. Oh damn, look at her beautiful skin. Damn, I like her hair. Oh, that natural hairstyle's nice on her. Oh, look at her lips. Oh, she cute as hell. That's how men think. So I'm trying to get why women spend their time wasting their money on such things. Because for everything you could spend $1,000 on, there's something just as nice, if not better, that you can spend $100 on. Sometimes $50 on. Shoot, I've found a lot of clothing for prices that people won't believe. Because I understand where I want my money to go. I understand where I want the lump sum of my money to go. And it's not to throw it away of clothing. It's nice to have a lot of clothing. I'm blessed just like a lot of other people to be able to go out and buy nice clothing, quality clothing. But I don't spend $1,000 on it. Shoot, I don't even spend hundreds on anything. I don't wear $100 jeans. I don't wear $100 shirts. Yeah, I understand going and buying $200-300 jacket, quality jackets, that's what they call us. But for every nice jacket that I might buy for $200-300, if it had Gucci on it, it's the same item, I'm paying about $2,000-3,000. Makes no sense. I guess what I'm trying to say is that we're going down the wrong path. We've been going down this path for a long time, but it's the wrong path. Because it's not getting us anywhere. These same people who are out here stunting on IG, if you see some of these YouTube videos where they get clowned on, half of these people are living in terrible conditions. A lot of them can't even afford their rent. A lot of them go paycheck to paycheck, not knowing how they're going to eat some days. But yet they're wearing Prada and Gucci and whatever else is out there. I don't even know the other brands on the market. I'm just knowing what I hear a lot. As a man, I would never take seriously a woman who was into designer clothing. Would never take her seriously. Because the mind ain't right. But then again, you gotta ask yourself, who is she trying to attract by wearing expensive clothing? A rich man? Most rich men could care less. If you're trying to attract a man with money wouldn't be the one to provide and take care of you. But if you're showing him that you have all this expensive taste and you could buy it on your own and take care of yourself, you're like, hey, go for it. I don't have to do anything for you then. That's how men are going to look at it. They're going to look at you, say, well, you have all this expensive clothing on, so therefore you must be able to provide for yourself. So therefore, you don't need my money. You don't need my resources. So why ask? Let's see if this is her. I really do want to know, though. And for men, I just don't get it. I would never be seen a day in my life wearing Gucci. I don't care if I make $10 million, which I hope to make in the coming years. I don't care if I made 100 million. You would never see me with Gucci. You would never see me sporting that nonsense. Because I understand what that attracts. It attracts people who have a different mindset than I do. And that mindset is not conducive to being with a person who's a builder. A person who's a builder will not waste money on expensive clothing. They understand that they are resources. That money is called resource. They're going to take that resource and build upon what it is that they're already building on. So anytime that you see a man with a lot of Gucci on in the streets, and half of them ain't even driving. I'm like, how the hell you got Gucci on? You taking a bus? You taking a train? You taking a trocho or a taxi? How the hell are you sporting Gucci, but yet you're taking public transportation? Don't really make sense. Now do it when you think about it. Now I understand that people wear a lot of fake Chinese knockoff this, knockoff that, whatever. But the reality is this. You're wanting to look like something. And that something that you're trying to look like isn't going to get you a type of person who is going to build with you. Because you've already shown the world, or you're already showing the world that, hey, this is what I'm into. This is what I desire. So as a man, I look at that and say, yeah, I might want to sleep with that, but yeah, I don't want to deal with that too seriously. Because I already see where her mindset is. I see that if I take her under my wing into my home, my resources are going to be spent up on this designer bullcrap. She's already shown me what is important to her. And flip the script. For a woman who is an actual woman, carries herself as a lady, and is not worrying about that nonsense, when she sees a man walking around like that, she's like, I see where his head is at. He's all about spending his money on high-end clothing. And if that man is not a multi-millionaire, then there's an issue with that. Because if a man is not a multi-millionaire, why would he even want that look? But like I said, y'all might know better than me. I'm just asking questions. I really want to know. I generally, sincerely want to know. What we got coming up? Let's see. Push this. Let's see if she comes up. See who we got here. All right, promise. See you. See you back. All right. I don't know about that. I don't know what's going on. I'm pushing accept, but I'm still seeing you there. Promise? Is this you? Okay. Finally got you back. You there?
Hello.
This is Promise, right? Oh, I'm sorry.
No,
Who's calling? Who is it?
Jaja.
Oh, Jaja.
Jaja,
I know you,
Jaja.
don't I? We spoke
Yes, you
some
do.
weeks ago, didn't we? All right, welcome back,
Yes, we
Jaja.
did.
All right, tell me if I'm wrong, or if, like I said, I'm not right about everything, but I'm trying to figure it out myself. I'm asking myself, why do men focus so hard on having to walk around showing people that they're able to buy Gucci and be all Gucci'd out? I mean, I understand that a lot of it is from the rap culture, the music industry, this, and the other, but that doesn't give means to following behind people to get what they have when you're not on that level. What do you think about the situation? Tell me what you think.
I actually agree with you.
For what reasons?
Well, I feel the pressure. I don't know if I'm also right too, but I feel maybe it's because of the pressure from all these rap artists also. So they feel okay, fine, this other person is doing it, so I can also do it because they feel like that's what is in vogue.
But
Yeah.
pressure, why though? If that's not your life, why try to make it your life? Why try to adapt someone else's life? See, maybe because I think differently. I don't look at other people and say, hey, I want that, so let me copy them. I see little here, little there, and I put it together and come up with my own way. I'm coming up with my own style. And that's when I was into clothing like that, or my own style and all other type stuff. Now that I'm into building things, into building companies and building a legacy, why would I have time to worry about if I got all the Gucci in the world and I got a Gucci bag walking around? What difference is that going to make when a lady look at me? If say like I'm dressed down like I like to, I'm in my casual wear and I'm going out and about myself, going about my day. Versus me going out Gucci top, Gucci handbag around the waist, whatever they do, and Gucci shoes. So what? A person is going to look at me and say, "Oh wow, he must have money," right? But then,
Yes. See, that's just like one of the few thoughts that
but
come
like
to
me looking
mind.
like this, I'm just going to look like the average bro, average Joe, right? Now
Yes,
this is
very
the kicker.
average.
When have you seen rich men walking around in Prada and Gucci on a daily basis like that?
One in
Exactly.
500.
Most people, first of all, wealthy people don't dress in any of that. Rich and wealthy are not the same thing. Wealthy is generational, meaning that you're likely never to run out of money. It's going to be passed down to generation after generation. Wealthy people dress nothing like that. If you see Bill Gates, you think you're going to ever see Bill Gates with Gucci on? You think you see Jeff
No.
Bezos or what's the guy in Nigeria, the rich guy, the oil guy? What's his name?
Well, we have Aliko
Dangote, the one who
Dangote.
made his money off the cement. You think you're going to find that man walking around in Gucci?
No.
Exactly. But yet, the people you particularly see walking around in Gucci, half of them not even driving, can't even afford a car. But they all Gucci'd out. Half of the ladies wearing Prada and every expensive thing you could think of. But yet, they don't own anything. They're still chasing after men, trying to get a husband. You see how I'm saying that the logic just don't measure up? That as a female, if you're looking for someone who's a builder who has money, you're not going to find them in a person out there who is dressed down with Gucci. You're just not. Men who are builders don't really pay attention to that nonsense. The people who know that they're never going to build anything and never own anything um, of real value, they look at themselves as this is the only value that I have, and this is all I can offer is a look. A look of my swag is all I have to offer. But when you see them brothers, you never see them owning real estate, owning houses, owning land, owning companies, corporations. You never see them owning none of that. You see what I'm trying to get at? Now we got the network issues on here on Friday night. Friday Night Live. She dropped, thinks she's going to drop out a network again. I don't want to remove you. Let me see. But yeah, let me drop her out. Let her come back. Let her come right back. All right. So as I'm saying, all right, I got you coming in. So as I'm saying, a lot of ladies never stop to think about that. They never stop to think about that. The men who are building in this world, who are the providers, protectors, who are the strong men of society, you're not going to see them dressed that way. You're just not. Now the men who don't have much, yes, they're going to go out their way to spend their last dime. Because spending their last dime, their entire, you got some brothers out here spending their whole paycheck. Some brothers will save up 2-3 weeks or months worth of paychecks just to go buy that expensive designer wear. Let that make sense. And then they put it on They all dappered out. They go out, talk to a few honeys, as I say, a few chicks, few broads. And it's like, yeah, baby, this is what I'm doing. I got it going on. In reality, they ain't got nothing going on at all. And then a lot of ladies, they see the name brand, they like, oh man, he must got it going on. He must got a little money, he got a little cash, he got a little this, that, and the other. All to find out that this brother living paycheck to paycheck just like everybody else. You know how many brothers I was talking to one of my friends in Miami, Florida, who actually went over there in Miami, Florida. Miami, for a lot of people who don't know, is what they call a fake it to make it town also. They say that Miami got a lot of Lamborghini trucks, all types of stuff, Ferraris, every type of car, expensive car you could think of that people out there driving. They estimated that the large majority, I forget the percentage they said, but it was the large majority of people driving around in these vehicles, drive around on a weekend in these vehicles because they're all rented. They're all leased for weekends. So what they do, they rent the cars, the trucks, whatever, the Lamborghini trucks. They go out on the weekend, go to the club, bust it out, and they get girls. Because all you need it is for a night. Because most hookups is one night stands anyway these days. It has been like that for a long time. So you get the girl thinking that this is yours, this is mine, so this is his. This means he has a lot going on for him. He's a builder. He's one of the top tier 1% men. And then on Monday, you find out he's just an average Joe. Because can't play that game every weekend. Definitely can't play that game Monday to Friday. You got to get back to work. So when you come up and I'm telling you, you got to take a taxi, you got to take an Uber to my place, find out it was all a game. And what I'm saying is a lot of y'all ladies got to start understanding this. I really can't say for the men, because like I said, the men who are the producers of the world, they're not doing that. And they're not looking at women and saying, damn, I'm going to choose her based on the designer clothing, the designer shoes, or the designer dress. They're not saying any of that. The only type of men that looks at that are men with no money. Men who have no income, real stream of income coming in. They're going to look at the females and say, hey, she must have something going on for herself. She must have a good paying job. If I hook up with her, then I could be okay. You know how many times I watch the ID Network and I see these shows of these male gigolos who get with these rich white women, rich black women, but they're always older women? They get with them because they know they have something to offer financially, because they know they can't get it for themselves. And the same way with the younger generation. A lot of the young boys will see girls who are well taken care of, who have designer this, designer that, and know that dad or mom or both mom and dad got a little something. So if I get myself in this family, maybe it'll help me out financially because I can't make it there on my own. And it's really not about making it there on your own. It's about making it there together. But if you're going in it for the wrong reasons, then you're going to come out of it for the wrong reasons. You get me? So I think that's basically what I'm getting at, is that investing our money into these expensive designer clothing is not giving anybody a great outcome. You can't list anybody who says, my girlfriend went out and bought this and spent all this money on this expensive clothing, and she attracted this type of man who became her husband. It doesn't really happen that often. And on the flip side, another happens where a female could say, I met this guy who had a lot of Gucci on, and me and him got together, hooked up, and he became my husband, and I was taken care of for the rest of my life. It doesn't really happen like that. Unless you're talking about an entertainer or athlete, it just doesn't happen that way. So if the guy's not an entertainer or athlete, because they're the only ones who even wear that nonsense in the first place. But real businessmen, real thinkers, real leaders, they're not into that. They're just not. I've not met one person in the fields that I'm around. I've not, of all colors, I've not met one man who would tell you, who would admit that he would think about buying a Gucci this or buying a Gucci that. Not even a Gucci belt. Wouldn't do it. Because they think it's a waste of resources. And it might give the cats their women to go buy because they already situated themselves in a position in life that they could, yeah, baby, go buy whatever you want. That's one thing. But they're not going to waste their resources on it for themselves. Because they know that it's totally unnecessary. Because they already got what it is that they need, their wives. But they didn't get their wives based on wearing high expensive clothing. A lot of the times these businessmen, they run into their wives, their future wives, in the same circles that they run. And when they run into them same circles, you even get one or two things. You either find a female or a woman who is coming from a higher education, so she's going to be in them circles, or they're looking to marry someone who is already a traditional wife, who was raised to be a traditional wife. They're marrying one of the two. Women who are already raised to be a traditional wife, or those who are in those highly educated, high earning circles. They might work in a building as a secretary. They might be a paralegal to a lawyer. So outside of that, they're not meeting their wives on the streets because they got expensive Gucci or Prada bags. They're just not. They're not. Most businessmen don't take those type of females seriously in the first place. And you could know it because of the outcome. A lot of you females might be watching now. You went out your way to have expensive this, expensive that. But it hasn't gotten you the man that you desire. The only type of men that it attracts is men who ain't got anything going on for them. I'm like, who doesn't have anything going on for themselves? And you know that I'm telling the truth. This is a generality of how it goes. Women with expensive clothing, expensive handbags, just any other, attracts low-value men. Because high-earning men, high-value men, don't want none of that nonsense to deal with. They don't want someone who they got to look at like, oh, man, so this is what she's into. She's just going to be buying up the shop with my money. And even if it's her money, he sees her as a person who doesn't spend wisely. Men are always thinking. Men who are builders, leaders, producers, protectors, they're always thinking about everything. So when they see you with that, they see you as someone who will only waste their resources. Let this be a learning experience. Because if you already invested your money into such things, and you haven't gotten an outcome, and the only outcome you get is with low-value men who don't have anything to offer you, then it means what I'm saying is true. The same thing for the brothers. What type of woman do you attract? When you all Gucci'd out, what type of woman do you attract? You attract the street rats, the hood chicks, the city girls. That's who you attract. Because no woman in her right mind who is looking to be a wife and a mother and have a highly respected name in society want to give herself over to a man who spends his time buying expensive clothing. Not just expensive clothing, but expensive clothing with those particular names on it. It means that he's more concerned about being flashy than being a builder. He's more concerned about being flashy than being a provider for the entire family. You can say, okay, what if he's just trying to attract the girl to get her and then marry her, and then he's not into that like that? Okay, fine. But back to the point that I made before. What type of female is he attracting in the first place? Because most women who are traditional wives, who are raised to be traditional wives, most of them are not attracted to that. especially when they mature. They might be attracted to that when they're in their teens, maybe at the age of 20, but by the time they're 25, they're not looking for men who are into that. They're looking for men who they know that is going to be there to provide for them and their children. You don't get that out of men who are focused on that. You don't get men who are husbands, who are fit to be husbands, who focus their time on that. You get people who are all about themselves. And that's what it comes down to. Men who focus on that to the point that that's the way they have to look when they go out. They have to always be dapper and high costing clothing and bags and whatever else it is. They're going to be more into themselves than they are with you. And that's why I said, you don't find rich men, you don't find builders who dress like that. They don't dress that way. They just dress normal. Nice polo shirt, great quality, nice cap, great quality. Costs a little money, but it's not out the ballpark. Reasonable money. You go buy a nice polo shirt for $60. Nothing wrong with that. But they're not out there spending $600 for a shirt. Because true builders use their resources wisely. That's what I want you guys to understand. And if you don't agree with me, you can let me know. For those who don't agree with me, let me know. I'm going to take that as if everybody agrees with me then. All right, what's this? All right, agreement. Okay. Well, it's good to see that most people are in agreement here. And I think that's all I was trying to convey, that I want the ladies from now on to know what it is that you're looking at. Because these things, for whatever reason, haven't been taught from a lot of fathers. And we got a lot of our young ladies growing up making bad decisions because they don't have anybody to advise them how to choose correctly, how to search, how to seek, how to discern. They're not taught these things from their fathers. And it's shameful. But hey, at least you have me. But yeah, ladies, understand, when you see a brother walking out, he got Gucci pants, Gucci shoes, Gucci this, Gucci that. Yeah, it's not the decision that you want to make. It's just not. And I'm not trying to say go and choose a total opposite and choose a man who's dressed bummy. It's not what I'm saying. I'm saying choose a man who dressed reasonable. Because men are who they, how should I say this? The way a man dresses shows his personality and his character. Let me say that again. Just like women, when you see a woman who looks like a prostitute, 9 times out of 10, she's going to have prostitute-like behaviors. Even if she's not a prostitute, she's going to be very promiscuous. It goes along with the territory. We dress ourselves according to how we feel, how we think. So if a fella sees a woman with short miniskirts, ass showing, what's between damn near showing, he's going to look at that as, okay, she's promiscuous. If I get her, this is all I need her for. But if he sees a lady who's dressed covered up, nicely respectable, he's going to say to himself, she's someone I could take serious. That's how it works. And it works on the flip side with you ladies. You're just not operating the right way. When you see a man who's dressed like what we're talking about, the first thing that should come to mind is, yeah, this man is all about himself. And if he's all about himself, he can't be all about me or family if we were to have one. To the brothers who dress that way normally jump from one to the next, to the next, to the next, to the next. That's the pattern of behavior. Because again, we dress according to who we are. That's why men who have a lot going on for themselves, they dress a particular way. And the way they look is very respectable. Even when they're on it, they're chill. They're still dressed down, but they're dressed respectable, clean, cut, but not overly exuberant, not overly exaggerating. Their clothing is not exaggerating who they are. Their clothing is showing you who they are. So when you see a businessman, he's going to work. He has a suit and tie on because that's where his mindset is. His mindset is on his business. When he dressed down, he's still clean cut, but it's not to show off. It's to say that I'm confident within myself. And I dress like this because I am very confident in myself, in my abilities. So I don't have to overdo it and throw in all this nonsense to try to get that attention for what means. If my knowledge, my leadership, my provisions, my protection is not enough to attract you, then why would I need you in my circle? If the only thing that if the only reason or only way that I can attract you is by dashing myself in overly priced items, what should I think that you truly desire from me? Nothing but that which is financial. If my looks can't attract you without all of that, then why would I want you in my circle? Why would I want to provide for such a person? And that's what I always ask myself. As a man, if it takes me to do that to attract you, not all the things that matter, why would I want you in my circle? Because you're only going to come along and destroy what it is that I'm trying to build. And that's what happens a lot. How often you see these brothers on YouTube, like the guy the other day with the Mickey D's thing. He brings the child out of the 4 children, one is his or whatever, and the girl put him on blast, screaming at him, "You should have brought all my kids, this, that, and the other." I guarantee you, when they first met, it was all about the jewelry, this, that, and the other, and whatever Jordans or whatever it is that he had on. And she looked at that. Okay, he might have a little couple of dollars. And look where they are now. Because why else would you get into the relationships? Why else would you get into a relation on both ends? As a woman who already have 3 kids, why do you get in a relationship with a man who doesn't have anything, who doesn't own anything, and go make another baby with him? Now you got 4 and you're sitting on welfare, talking about your food stamps don't come in for another 2 weeks. And on the flip end, as a man, and you know you don't have much going on for yourself right now, why do you go out and make a baby with a woman who already have 3 babies by 3 other dudes? Tell me, what sense does that make? That shows a lack of confidence. Most men have no confidence in that, because a man with confidence will never, ever go and make a baby with a woman with 3 baby daddies. It's impossible. And I'm telling you this now. It is impossible for a man who is confident in himself to go out and make a baby with a woman that is not his wife, who already has several baby daddies. Impossible. Because your confidence wouldn't allow you, because you would know that your value is too high for you to stoop so low. And on the other end, the female has no confidence either. She's out here making babies with every man who will cross her path. But again, people get into these relationships based on how they first see a person dress. Instead of it being character, ability to provide, ability to prevent, and ability to lead. They're never making babies with those type of men, because those type of men went and lay down with them in the first place. When they did, they'd be fully protected. But nowadays, men are saying, forget it. I'm not even chancing it. Most men today are not even taking a chance of just sleeping with something because it looks good anymore. Those days are coming to an end. Because men are saying now, if you are not what I need, if you are not capable of being the type of wife that I need in order to build with and move up in the world, then I'll be wasting my time. All you're doing is playing Russian roulette with no reward, just punishment. You can only get punishment out of that, no reward. At best, you leave with nothing. You leave what you came with no baggage, with a pregnancy. That's at best. Because busting a nut after 10, 20 minutes, that ain't going to do nothing for life. That ain't going to do anything for life. That ain't going to do nothing for your future. All it's doing is causing you more distraction. So again, like I said, the brothers who are out here making these babies, they're the ones dressed down in the Gucci. They're the ones geared up with the jewelry, the watches. They're the same ones going out making these babies. Half of them can't take care of it. And the other half don't own anything substantial to build generational wealth. And they're doing this and having these babies out of wedlock. It's only costing them. This is the whole generation that we see right now going on. And they ain't the first. They damn sure ain't going to be the last. But you got to ask yourself, are you going to continue to go down the same road? You go down the same road, you get the same outcome. And that's what I don't understand about people. People go down these paths, knowing the outcome by seeing it happen over and over again, but they expect for some particular reason that their outcome is going to be different, become different from everybody else in the world. They're going to be that 1 in 1 million, which is highly, highly unlikely, but they do it anyway. So ladies, let's end it with this. When you see men all Gucci down, and they're on a bus, they're on public trans, they're on a trotro, a taxi, this man's priorities ain't set right. That's what you say to yourself from this day forward. You say, this man's priorities are not set right. The fake it till you make it don't work anymore. Now we got the internet. We could pull everything up about a person down there. It don't take much to find out about a person anymore. So that fake it till you make it, that's coming to an end. It's coming to an end. But ladies, if you really want to find, if you're really serious about finding a man, and forget that man in your dreams, if you're really serious about finding a man that is going to be good for you, a good fit for you, look into his dress. Again, we are how we dress. Our character is shown by the way we dress a lot. So if he's clean cut, he's well taken care of, nice clothing, but not overly like a show off, like got a price tag still hanging off the shirt, price tag say $1,000. You know, some dudes actually do that. They pretend to leave the price tag on just to show how much they paid for it, if it ain't stolen. It's tacky. That's saying that this is what I can offer you, a look. The fake it till you make it. So if you don't want to be tied up with a guy who's faking it till he make it, and most people fake it till they make it, never make it. And that's a rare thing. So if you don't want to be tied up in a relationship of the fake it till you make it, choose wisely. Choose better. Choose men who are spending their time going to school, spending their time putting their money, investing their money into their business, investing their money and their time into their own skill. They're the type of men that you go seek out. Those who are so busy that they don't have time to go out here and be about in a club looking for girls or one-night stands. They're the ones who will be good fits as husbands. But the ones, hate to break it to you, but the ones at the club with all the Prada and the Gucci, you already see that they're not going to make a good husband. So you waste your time. But a lot of your ladies say, I could change them. I could change them. You can't change anybody. You can't change anybody. Individuals change only when they're ready to. And even when they're ready to, the longer it takes for them to get to that point, the harder it's going to be for them to change. So I mean, I'm just trying to drop knowledge and a few gems. So, like I said, hopefully you agree. If not, let's see the outcome that you get. So we're going to leave it here because I guess we had network issues with our couple of people that came on. I don't see any more requests right yet. I see all of you. So we got to our 1 hour though. We definitely got to our 1 hour like I would like to get to. All right, so we're going to drop here. Like I said, man, take heed to what it is that I'm saying. Because like I said, what I say, take my advice, you get a better outcome. You go against my advice, you get the outcome that the rest of the world is getting. Become a baby mama, baby daddy, get tied up with men who can't do anything for you, or men you get tied up with women who can't build with you. So it is what it is. So drop the Prada, drop the Gucci, drop all of that. Let it be no more. Say to yourselves, now, since watching Steve speak on it, I see that I shouldn't be looking for men who are dressed this particular way. I should look for men who are serious about themselves. Because men who are serious about themselves dress a particular way, a respectable way, let you know that they are husband material. Guys dressed down, dapper down in Gucci are not husband material. They're about themselves, and they're going to remain about themselves. So, and guys, the same thing. If you see women out here, or these, let me say ladies or females out here, with all these Prada and Gucci bags and all that, step away from it, keep away from it. Because she's really not about you. She's about her. Just the same as men, women who dress that way, they're all about themselves. And they're constantly looking how they could use men in order to make themselves feel better about themselves. They're constantly looking at what they could take from men so they could go out and buy more things to make them feel good about themselves. Because they have such emptiness inside of their soul. It's true. These ladies have a lot of emptiness inside of their souls, and they try to fill it with material wealth or materialistic clothing. But there's no way around it. There's only one way, proper way to find a decent partner. And choosing the ones that are dressed like this or that on either end, whether it's a man or a woman, you're not going to get a decent partner out of that. You might get a boyfriend or a girlfriend for temporarily, but all you're doing is wasting your time. You could be out there finding your spouse who's going to be with you for the rest of your life. And while you're wasting your time with this boyfriend or girlfriend, you allow the man or the woman that would have been fit for you, would have been perfect for you. You missed out because you spent your time. You spent wasted time. You wasted time on being with someone you know is not a good fit as a spouse. A lot of y'all in relationships now. A lot of y'all guys are watching now. A lot of y'all ladies are watching now. And y'all know that the person you're with is not going to be a good fit for a spouse. You've been in it for months or years. And you're like, I still hope that they will change. But it ain't there yet. In the meantime, you're in a relationship. So the man that would have been perfect for you, the woman who would have been perfect for you, passed you by. You was in a relationship. People don't understand how a lot of people observe you, believe it or not. People, everywhere you go, people observe you. I don't know how to say this. I put it this way. The more you're out, the more you're being observed. Whether it's in your church, in your job, in your school, whatever. People are observing you. They're taking inventory of who you are. You might not see it, you might not notice it. There could be a man looking at you from a far distance. They're always paying attention to you. They see the time that you leave the house. They see the time that you arrive to work, or they see the time that you go to your lunch break. They always see you at a particular time and know that more than likely you're going to be at this particular space. So they're always watching. But they can know also that you're in a relationship, so they don't want to overstep their boundaries. And because you're in this meaningless relationship that's not going anywhere, eventually a person crosses path with someone else. And you lost out. So all I'm telling you, brothers and sisters, stop wasting your time in meaningless relationships. We're going to do a show about that too. I'm going to do a show about that next week. Why are we wasting our times in meaningless relationships, and how it's losing us our life partners? Because there's a lot of options for us in life, but you can't find them options if you're wasting your time with someone that you know is not for you. So just going to leave it there. And like I said, hope you guys enjoyed the show. We got an hour in. Make sure you follow, tell a friend, tell a family member, tell a coworker. Follow the show here on IG or YouTube under the same name, Marion Africa. This is Stephen D. Lyles. Hope you guys enjoyed the show once more. And as long as God allows me to be, I'll be here to advise you, brothers and sisters of mine. Love you. We out. And that's it for tonight's show. Enjoy the weekend, y'all.